Celebrating 30 years of phenomenal trend forecasting, 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. Here's Gerald Celente with today's trends in the news.
Hi, this is Gerald Celente. It's Wednesday, May 4th, 2016. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On to the markets over there in Asia. Nikkei still closed. Probably good for them because, hey, the 2 days they were open, they're down over 6%. Over there in China, boop, down a little bit. Shanghai, Hang Seng, both hanging lower. Over there in Europe, down about 1%. Here in the States, Dow down 100 points. And oil, boop. And gold down a little bit. So what's going on? Well, let's see what the prostitutes say. U.S. stocks closed lower Wednesday after mixed data. And they're waiting for the non-farm payrolls report due Friday. Yeah, they're going to see what lousy jobs were created. But the ADP employment report for April came in at 156,000. So that shows that the markets have cooled off a little bit. So there's really not a lot of news driving down the markets. But oil was up, oil was down, oil was up. U.S. oil ends well off highs amid, you ready for this? Bigger than expected crude build. You know what that is.
Warning, warning, bullshit alert.
It's either bigger than expected, lower than expected, more than expected, missed expectations. Expected by whom? Every day we've been reporting the oil news showing there's a surplus of over 2 million barrels a day in the world marketplace, and they don't have any place to store this stuff. But we'll make up stuff anyway. So, there was a fire up there in the Canadian province of Alberta where wildfire raged unchecked through the Canadian city of Fort McMurray in the heart of the country's oil sands region, prompting some companies, including Suncor Energy and Royal Dutch Shell, to cut back production. That's what drove prices up initially. And again, terrible tragedy, but it's not a long-term thing. Because when you look at the real long-term effects, Shell profits plunge 83% this quarter compared to last. That's right. Compared to a year earlier, this quarter is down 83%. Over there in China, to keep that red Ponzi scheme going, and I'm telling you, I'm getting tired of this name Ponzi. They got to come up with another one. He's Italian, and they must have a name for a Chinese crook. Ponzi. Anyway, China's central bank on Tuesday pumped more money into the market to ease a liquidity strain. And this is from the Global Times. And you 1 week after another, 1 day after another, a new scheme, lowering the reserve ratio requirements, pumping in these repos that they're calling them, the reverse repos. So what they're doing is they're buying up bad bank debt, basically. So the way they say it is the People's Bank of China conducted a $100 billion yuan of 7-day reverse repurchase agreements, a process in which central banks purchase securities from banks, blah, 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 security. They're purchasing junk from banks. The banks are hanging on to all of this debt burden, and they're trying to keep this red Ponzi scheme alive. Meanwhile, Beijing cracks down on sales of data, causes gap in economic statistics. Front page right here in the Financial Times. The crackdown on the sale of data from China's sprawling statistic agencies has prompted a market deterioration in the numbers investors rely on to understand the world's second largest economy. While China economic data has long been criticized for being too open to political interference, Beijing is sensitive to the country's growing clout in commodity markets and its sway over the pricing of raw materials. Chinese authorities are trying to curb a burst of speculative trading in commodity futures, which has influenced markets from iron ore to cotton in recent weeks. They can't get over the gambling trip. They did it with the Shanghai Index. Remember last summer? They're getting these retail investors in there. Again, none of this has to do with price discovery, and certainly none of it has to do with earnings, because earnings are down in the States on average 8%. China warns its bearish analysts to toe the line. Chinese authorities are training their sights on a new set of targets. Economic analysts and business reporters with a gloomy view of the country's economy. Why don't you do what Bloomberg does? Why don't you do what CNN and CNBC and Fox do? Why don't you do what ABC, NBC, and CBS do? Just hire prostitutes. You don't have to crack down on anything. The other word never gets out there. What's the matter with you guys? You're going to play the crooked game? America wrote the book on it. All they do is bring out their shills one after another, from hedge funds, from private equity groups, from stock market companies, from banks, the same ugly, stupid faces shooting off the same BS. China warns its bearish analysts, just pay them. Do like Americans do. Hire the prostitutes. You hire them in the business field. You hire them in the political field. The same shills shooting off their mouths. Do it the right way, you guys, huh? Grow up. It's capitalism, corporatism, bankism. Capitalism's dead. High anxiety. Wow, look at this headline right here. Markets get roiled. High anxiety. Hey, guess what? Trend alert. Trend alert. Global equity markets sinking. Gold rising. Trend or fad? Hey, I guess they must get our trend alerts, huh? Because we write about it in detail. Another trend alert. More bang for your buck. Putting you ahead of the news and on top of the trends. And maybe somebody else reads our trend alerts too. This came out. Legendary billionaire investor Stanley Druckenmiller told the Schoen Investment Conference, that's SOHN, I guess get out of the stock market isn't clear enough. The conference wants specific recommendations from me. He went on, gold remains our largest currency allocation. Hey, I guess he didn't read that piece from the Wall Street Journal just 1 month ago. Get out of gold, they told him. Oh, this is only a billionaire investor buying gold. Read your trend alert. Again, ahead of the news and on top of the trends. Companies and markets. Well, from the Financial Times, volatility blows hole in European bank profits. Get out of the markets. Isn't that clear enough, he says? Shares of UBS and Commerce Bank ended down yesterday 7.5% and 9.5% respectively after downward numbers. Follow the money. We keep reading the banking reports. They stink. European markets record 20% fall off. Trading volume on European stock markets dropped dramatically last month, reflecting growing economic and political uncertainty, with market participants fearing that the decline will prove to have been a harbinger of a tough summer. Trend alert, trend alert. You know the motto. Think for yourself. Oil price rise prompts fears of more zombie companies. The rebound in oil prices has failed to prevent the default rate of U.S. junk-rated energy groups hitting a fresh record and prompted warnings it could lead the industry saddled with, quote, zombie companies. Bankruptcy protection from Ultra Petroleum and Mid-States Petroleum Company last Friday and over the weekend helped push the trailing default rate to a record 13%, according to Fitch. That's up from 2% a year ago. Follow the money. Junk bonds, banks, capiche? And mortgage applications down 3.4%. But volume is 14% higher than a year ago. Refinancing demand fell 6% for the week, but it's 15% higher than 1 year ago. Average sale prices for homes listed at $1 million or more fell 1.1% in the first quarter compared with a year earlier, making that the biggest decline in more than 2 years, according to Redfin. And they go on to say that it's not just mega mansions in Houston or penthouse condos in Miami Beach or Manhattan's Billionaire Row that are sitting unsold. This is the person from Redfin said. Affluent communities like Montgomery, Maryland, have rising numbers of $1 million or $1.5 million homes on the market with no buyers. They should be flying off the shelves, she said. You see where things are going. Remember, this July, a trend seminar conference like nowhere else in the world, on Trendpreneur Conference. They're coming from Chile. They're coming from Hong Kong. They're coming from California to Ireland, Canada, people from all over the world. We're going to be giving you insights, observations, whether you own a company and want to expand, go in new directions, or to see if the direction you're going in is the right one. If it's on trend, shouldn't say right or wrong. If you're in a profession, you want to expand it, get out of it, move away, move into something new, find something new. Or you're just starting out and you're looking for the best opportunities with the clearest path to the future. On Trendpreneur Conference, coming up this July, and call us at Trends Research, 845-331-3500. Ask to speak to Taryn Clark. Just go to our website. You know it. 845-331-3500. And, of course, yesterday, a big day in the presidential reality show. Donald Trump against Hillary Clinton. That burn for Bernie's done flamed out. Oh, yeah, he won Indiana. Yeah, but he didn't win enough delegates. Just 6 more delegates than Clinton. Doesn't count. Clinton-Sanders White House. No, we're going to change that a little bit. Clinton-Sanders ticket. TrendsJournal is coming out next week. Got a big report in that one. Kasich is out. Cruz is gone. Will the Republicans support Trump? It makes no difference. I said this from the beginning, and you know it. We've always said that Trump would be the nominee. When he knocked out Jebby Boy, put his hand on his shoulder and called him a nobody. First debate. He's running against no one. There's no one in the Republican Party. McConnell, Lindsey Graham, McCain, insane. They're nobodies. Whether or not the Republicans support him doesn't make any difference. They don't count. And guess what? Neither do the Democrats. What Donald Trump has shown is that it's a wide open field. One man of courage makes a majority, said Andrew Jackson. And I'm not calling Trump that man, but I am calling him that man in the sense that he did it. He made it happen. One person can do it. Yeah, he had a lot of money behind him to make it happen of his own bucks. But I guess I can say it. One man of courage, in his way, he's made a majority. He owns the race. What I'm saying to you is the field is wide open. There's nothing there. It's the Wizard of Oz. There is no Republican Party. There is no Democratic Party. As a matter of fact, just a bunch of liars, cowards, freaks, and fools. And they just got one here in New York. Prison sentence for former New York Assembly leader. They should have given him between 20 to 27 years for the guidelines suggested for the range of crimes he committed. But he's only going to get, I think, 12 or so, 12 years because of his age. He's 72. Let the bastard die in jail. An arrogant boy, this little Sheldon Silver. A little boy with a bad attitude. I worked up in the assembly. I didn't know him, but I knew others. I worked in the New York State Senate. Nobodies. And then when they fall, man, they crash like little crying babies, pleading for justice. Oh, yeah, I'm truly, truly sorry for what I did. They all say they're sorry. You're sorry for getting caught. You should die in jail for screwing we the people. But hey, give him a break. He's among the elite. They only get a slap on the wrist. Watch, they'll let him out early. This is Gerald Celente, and that's some of today's trends in the news.